Before we can talk about the terrifying, hyper-autonomous future of artificial intelligence, we have to answer a deceptively simple question that most tech companies deliberately avoid explaining. What actually is AI? Despite what Hollywood movies and breathless marketing campaigns want you to believe, AI is not a conscious digital mind. It doesn't feel, it doesn't think, and it has no awareness of its own existence. Stripped of all the science fiction hype, artificial intelligence is math. It is advanced statistical pattern matching operating at a scale the human brain can barely comprehend. Think of traditional computer software like a rigid recipe. A human programmer writes explicit instructions. If the user clicks this button, do X. Artificial intelligence flips this entirely. Instead of giving the computer a rule book, we give it a massive mountain of raw data and tell it to figure out the rules for itself. Through a process called machine learning, the system processes this data through neural networks, mathematical equations that mimic interconnected neurons. Every time the AI makes a correct guess about a pattern, the mathematical connections get stronger. When you use an AI today, you are interacting with a system that has calculated the mathematical probabilities of how data connects. It is pattern recognition evolved into prediction engineering. Because AI can write poetry and debug code, we assume it is thinking the same way we do. But when a human thinks of an apple, your mind coordinates a rich tapestry of sensory memories, the crunch, the taste, the color. An AI does not. It understands the world through geometry. When an AI model is trained, it translates every concept into a long string of numbers called a vector embedding. These numbers are spatial coordinates. The AI plots these coordinates inside a multi-dimensional digital warehouse known as a vector database. In this space, apple is stored physically close to pear. When you ask a question, the AI executes a proximity search. It calculates the geometric distance between your prompt and existing data. This introduces a devastating bottleneck. We are running out of fuel. AI developers have already scraped nearly all public human knowledge. Because these models cannot generate true, novel, conceptual thoughts outside of the data they have already mapped, they hit a structural wall. If you feed an AI its own generated text to train the next version, the vector space destabilizes in a loop called model collapse. To move forward, we cannot just make the databases bigger, we have to change how the AI acts. Every technological leap has a novelty phase. When cars were invented, we called them horseless carriages because our brains needed a familiar format. When generative AI arrived, we forced it into the structure of a 1990s chat window. We became obsessed with the prompt, the idea that the most valuable skill was engineering the perfect paragraph. But the prompt era is ending. We are entering the agentic AI era. We are transitioning away from systems that passively wait for instructions toward autonomous agent swarms. These systems are given a single high-level goal, and they autonomously plan, tool, and execute complex workflows on their own. Current AI fails at complex tasks because it's a single neural network trying to do everything at once. Agentic systems use multi-agent architecture. They operate like a specialized corporate department. Imagine a firm needing 10,000 medical-grade batteries. Instead of a human spending weeks on emails, they give one instruction: secure 10,000 units for Q3. Instantly, the orchestrator agent deploys a data scraper to crawl global manifests, a negotiator agent to draft RFPs and counteroffer based on market vulnerabilities, and a legal auditor to cross-reference contracts against environmental laws. The human is no longer the builder. They are the inspector at the end of the line, reviewing a bulletproof log. For decades, AI lived in data centers while the physical world was ruled by deterministic robotics. Traditional factory robots are dumb. If a part is misaligned by an inch, they weld empty air. That wall has crumbled due to physical intelligence, driven by vision language action models, VLAs. By training on physics simulations and tactile feedback, we've created large behavior models. These models understand gravity and friction. In e-commerce, a VLA robot can look at a chaotic bin of returns, identify a delicate perfume bottle or tangled headphones, and calculate the exact pressure needed to lift them without damage. Intelligence is no longer trapped behind a glass screen. Right now, your relationship with AI is transactional. You open a chat, it responds, and when you close the tab, it develops amnesia. The agentic era replaces this with persistent vector memory. Imagine an AI companion that tracks your smartwatch data, glucose levels, and calendar. It notices your deep sleep has dropped 14% and you have a high-stakes presentation in 48 hours. It doesn't just give advice, it takes action. It restructures your calendar for recovery, shifts your smart home lighting to optimize melatonin, and modifies your grocery order to include anti-inflammatory foods, all before you even realize you're burning out. This transition requires a hidden sacrifice. We are facing 3 unprecedented crises. 1. The labor inversion. Automation used to target manual labor. Now it targets routine cognitive labor, paralegals, analysts, and managers. We are shifting from execution to verification roles. 2. The energy bottleneck. Running an agent swarm requires continuous inference loops. This is why tech giants are buying nuclear reactors and geothermal fields. The race for AI is now a race for raw electrical power. 3. The autonomy liability vacuum. If an autonomous agent signs a multi-million-dollar contract for defective materials, who is liable? The developer? The user? We are entering a world of mandatory cryptographic signatures and algorithmic recall laws. For decades, computers were calculators. Recently, they became collaborators, our co-pilots. But today, we are crossing the final threshold. Computers are becoming operators. They are moving out of the passenger seat and taking the wheel of our digital and physical infrastructure. The agentic era promises economic growth that will dwarf the Industrial Revolution, but it challenges our very concept of agency. When software can plan and execute the tasks of society, what is left for us to do? Would you give up control of your finances and health to an agent if it meant getting back your time? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives into the future, and I'll see you in the next video.